Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk.
What's up? Big Herc 916, getting down with another Fresh Out Prison Talk. Louisiana is going old school. They are not playing with these criminals messing with the young people. They about to castrate this cat, man, and give him 50 years. Check it out.
A judge issued a rare and much talked about punishment for a man who admitted to raping a young teenager.
The suspect will serve prison time and will be physically castrated. Miranda Thomas spoke with prosecutors today. Miranda.
Prosecutors say many sex crimes go unreported because victims are afraid, but they are hoping this case serves as an example of what could happen when victims come forward. Prosecutors in Livingston Parish say justice is finally served after 54-year-old Glenn Sullivan admitted he raped a young girl.
The allegations had began several years ago that Mr. Sullivan had repeatedly raped her, and one of the rapes, actually the first rape, at the age of 14, she became pregnant. A judge sentenced Sullivan to 50 years behind bars and physical castration. Castration is something Assistant District Attorney Brad Cassio says is not common, but paints a clear picture. The state legislature gives us tools that we can use to fight crime and protect victims. And this is one of those tools in a prosecutor's toolbox that we have at our disposal. And if I have the opportunity to do it, and I think that it's just, and that...
Now, I wonder how many of these predators, when they hear about this, will start shaking in their boots. But you know, for a lot of those individuals, they don't even entertain the thought that they're doing anything wrong. These people are mentally sick, and they don't get a pass, because if it was your child, your niece, your nephew, your cousin, I know you wouldn't go for it either. But this is what it's come down to. It's not about no damn friendly terminology to make these people feel like they're accepted. No. It's about sending a message that if you can't control your sexual desires, then we will control them for you. And that's what it's come down to. So you see it all over social media. I just saw where Bradley Martin, shout out to Bradley Martin, busted out one of the so-called Hollywood elite, picking up on a 15-year-old. Man, when you try to justify it, saying, oh, well, the younger person also engaged the older person and did this and did that. Look, you can't hold a younger person to the same standard as an adult. 15 years old, 16 years old, 17 years old. Look, I wasn't even fully, I would say, mature enough to make conscious decisions to my late 20s. I was still making dumb choices in my early 20s, which led to me doing a lot of time. So when you try to put the responsibility of sexuality on a young person that's under 18, we're gonna have a lot of problems in society behind that. And the responsibility of an adult is for one to recognize a young person and to treat them accordingly. For the parent is to protect and guide. You don't want your child experimenting with cocaine and heroin and playing with guns and thinking it's cool to join a gang and to do dumb shit, to be out 2 o'clock in the morning trying to steal cars or rob, whatever the case may be. You have to put a foot down. For you to say, well, little Jimmy's he'll learn. No, you step in and you be a parent. And the problem is there's not enough parenting, and there's a lot more freedom because of the phone and access. So there's things that your children are doing and you're maybe not aware of, but you're giving them the freedom to do it, and that freedom has to be restricted because you're a parent. They're not equal to you. They're under your protection. So for the adults who think, oh, well, this young person seemed like they were mature enough, you're a piece of shit. And to the parents who aren't taking the time because they feel like, oh, well, if I just give my child this, they'll be out of my way. Well, you're doing some lazy parenting and you're not being responsible. You got to be responsible, man. And I know parenting in this new age is not easy. Every child wants to be able to, have access to social media and all this stuff. And there's so much sexual stuff out there. And that's why they used to call it adult entertainment. And there was a separation. You had to actually go through some stuff. Back in the day, you had to, if you wanted to see an adult movie, you had to go into a video store, go through a black curtain, and you had to be 18 to get back there. Or the liquor store checked your ID before you were able to buy the DVD. It wasn't just on your phone. So times have changed, and the hypersexuality, it has impacted our young people a lot. And I just think we got to include more protections. And this is coming from somebody who's been in the adult industry, and it's for adults. What adults do, hey, that's your business, but the kids, leave the kids alone. Louisiana setting an example. So I think it's a wake-up call, and you just gotta use reason. And if somebody is underage, what you're doing. They say something, you act like you don't hear it, or oh, blah blah blah. Look, man, these states that are trying to pass these laws saying that these people get a pass, ain't no pass, man. Ain't no pass for somebody violating a young person who hasn't had the opportunity to grow, to mature, to understand the choices they're making so that they can make the right choice and not be mentally scarred for the rest of their life. Leave a comment, share the channel. They're always throttling us down because they don't want our message out there. But let me know what you guys think about this. And thank you for supporting and being fans of Fresh Out for all these years. Big hurt.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com.